Hello everyone, welcome back to another WHOvember GMOD TARDIS video. I said in the last one I would record one of these. Well, I did, and then I deleted it. I'm just an idiot. I'm just stupid. These are all sort of more the Doctor's TARDIS now. These are all the Doctor's TARDIS. But these are ones that never made the cut. These are ones that are sort of non-canonical, and some almost were, but we'll kind of explain as we go. So we have these are ones that were almost in the show or kind of nearly official sort of canon. Sort of. And then these ones are from TV adverts, which we'll explain once we get there. This, you might not really recognise it from the outside, you'll recognise it definitely when you go in. So this was the unused 1990 TARDIS. This was going to be the one used in series 28 with Sylvester McCoy. So this would have been the TARDIS that would have replaced the famous 80s one. And here it is. It's quite, it has appeared, you can look this one up, 1990 series 27 whatever TARDIS, 28 TARDIS. It is quite famous in circles, people do talk about it a lot. Well, I've heard people talk about it quite a bit. It was going to be it would have been quite a revolutionary TARDIS, because of course it would have been the first one to have the rotor, the column go into the ceiling, because it was hovering. And I got this nice kind of Gallifreyan symbol on the floor, sorry. It is quite a nice room. I quite like these kind of grates in the ceiling. It's very well lit. It feels quite warm, though not being like, you know, like, because the Capaldi one is warm and stuff because it's got those book stuff. This one feels warm, I think, just because of the colours. Instead of it all being quite bright and like white and like light grey, they use slightly darker greys, and it just feels a bit more sort of homely and stuff. And there's scanners and stuff, and it's quite an interesting time. It's very buttony, like its predecessor, and yeah, it's a shame it was never really made, because it is quite weird. It does look a bit more orangey, I think, in the pictures. There's a lot more kind of light in it. This one just feels quite plain, but it is still quite an interesting console. It is weird that it floats. Now this one looks a bit more animated because, well, it is. It was from I want to say Canadian cartoon of Doctor Who. I don't know why I think it's Canada, but it might be. It's called the Rowan TARDIS. I don't know if that's named after the person who designed it or what. Big thing, of course. Doors open outwards, and here is the console, and here's the door. Very sort of a classic style. Oh, that's because of course the door is bigger. Look, oh, I never noticed that. And luckily everything's very well labelled. So you got your demount lever here, you got your handbrake, which they spelt wrong. There's the door switch. I do like how weirdly like indented all these little things. I don't think these are meant to be corridors. Ooh, little that's Gallifreyan thing. Why are the Windows keys are now Rassilon keys? Screwdriver dispenser. I don't know if I've ever shown off the screwdrivers. I'm the Mandalorian as well, so I've got a Mandalorian hand. But there is a mod for a collection of sonic screwdrivers. So you've got a few custom ones here and there. You've got Sarah Jane Slight Lipstick. You also have what I love. You've got the I thought they would have had the other handles. I thought the handles were flipped, but you have these Sonics, the custom sonic screwdriver Sonics. I think there's also the transtemporal one, which I've got this one. I've ordered off eBay with quite a lucky, relatively low auction bid of selling these. And when I get them, I think I'll do a video looking at all my Sonics. So I have all of them. I even have the 14s one. I don't have the chrome like electroplated one. I have just the normal one. I missed the ship on that. I think the only one I haven't got is this one, the 5th Doctor's. It's the only Sonic I haven't got out of all these that they sell. I do like the rotor. That's on the button. This one? Yeah. Oh, there's a Masters variant. It's a box, but I imagine. Oh, it's green. Oh, it's green. I thought that was a red one. Oh, why isn't that not a? What? I want someone to make the Curse of Fatal Death TARDIS from the Rowan Atkinson comic relief story. I don't know if it was before or after. I think it was after Dimensions in Time. It was like the mid to late 90s. But Rowan Atkinson did a Doctor Who sketch, and he would have been a great Doctor. But yes, this time, now this is one I recognise. You can also get this in the Dalek mod if you have 1.12 Dalek mod. This is with an alternate outdoor. This is the Scream of the Schalke TARDIS. Now this would have been the TARDIS owned by the first Ninth Doctor, played by Richard E. Grant, who of course becomes the Great Intelligence. Like, I've heard a lot of people talk quite good of this story, and this is the TARDIS. I'm not a massive fan of the room. I'm not a big fan of the staircases, but the console and this sort of plinth. Oh, I do love this. I love these controls. This is actually quite this is like one of the original GMOD TARDIS. This is a very early one. There's a lift that goes to apparently they say there's a Zeppelin hangar. This whole story are littered. If you go through the cast of Scrib the Shalka, yeah, it's got Richard E. Grant as the Doctor, who of course became the Great Intelligence. The companion is voiced by the woman who plays Liz 10 in Beast Below, and David Tennant's in it, and he plays like one small like speaking where he plays at some like he plays some sort of like guard or something of a warehouse, and he gets attacked by monsters. Also, it's got the Master in it, and it's voiced by Derek Jacobi, who then became the War Master. So this is actually quite a modern one. This is from Big Finish. This is the Warriors TARDIS. This is Big Finish Doctor Who audios. They do a thing called, I think they're called Unbound, and it's sort of like Marvel's What If for Doctor Who. And one of them they did was a little series called The Warrior, and essentially it's all about it's a slight kind of change in events around the time of Genesis of the Daleks, and it features essentially the Doctor. I don't know what the Doctor exactly does at that point. I don't know if he. I haven't listened to it, so I don't know if he actually does succeed properly. But the big thing is he regenerates there and then and becomes the Warrior, who's played by Colin Baker, which fits because the next one would have been Davison. I don't think Davison would have fit as the Warrior. And I think he dresses a bit like the War Doctor. He dresses like the War Doctor, but he looks like Colin Baker. A bit more of a villain, a bit more of an evil character. And there's a great bit because there's a second series, and the first episode is essentially the face of evil. So, of course, Leela's first story. But instead, the Doctor going and doing it all is actually Geoffrey Beevers' Master. But this is his TARDIS. It's a sort of dark 80s version. It's quite weird. I love this console. I love all the pipes and things going everywhere. It does have a door. Oh, that opens. Yeah, it has got a door, but there's no way of operating it from the console because that's a sight dispenser. But you press that and it just opens the front doors. I love the buttons because you get some quite funky ones like vortex drift control. It's got a bit of a kind of McGann-esque noise, and if you go inside, that bit moves, not the whole rotor. You have a little screen here, and it makes some really funky noises when it materializes and stuff as well. And you've also got this sort of chair. Don't know what this is meant to be, but it's a chair. So yeah, that's all these. We'll turn it off, stop it from flying. Alright, so these ones are very weird, and I love them, because these are from television adverts. Now, Doctor Who isn't really used as an advertising thing really anymore, I don't think. But these are from, I think, the early 80s, late 70s, and this was used around the 90s, very late 90s, I believe, turn of the millennium. So this one was for something called Prime Computing. And it was some sort of a business computer, and this is the set they use in the adverts. There's also another exterior, and it's just this. It's this little computing bank. I think this opens up to little cabinets. Is there a cabinet here as well? Oh my god, that's actually a still from the adverts. I might actually link the advert in the description. If I remember to do it, I'll leave a link to the adverts in the stream because they're quite interesting. Images from the adverts as well. Yeah, there you go. The computer actually tells the Doctor to marry Romana, and she does say yes. Spoilers. And over here, and all these buttons, they do stuff. I believe this is actually the opening script of An Earthly Child. So there you go. Little fun. I think it is. I don't know. It talks about a policeman. Din Djarin in the Prime Computing room. What will he do? So this TARDIS is another advert one. This was also with Tom Baker, but was made in like 1999, which is quite weird. They've gone through like 4 other Doctors, and they still went, now we'll get Tom in. And this one, I don't know if this one was any more higher budget or anything, but this was used by something called Superannuation. I want to say it was something from New Zealand, but I might be wrong in that. Which would make sense, because I think New Zealand was actually the first country to get classic Doctor Who out of the I think it was the first place where they showed it out of the UK, so it might be. I don't know how big it is in New Zealand. I think about making like your pensions and stuff, your finances were ready for the next millennium. I think that was the whole kind of draw of it. It's like not even a Time Lord knows what the future holds for your money. But they even made a little opening like vortex effect, and this was the interior. So they had a door you can get through. There you go. Just a door. That's budgeting. Close the door. And this was the console. Now, I will say, I do really like this room. I love the alternating roundels and the pillars. They only ever made 3 panels because you already saw it from this side. This was the number you could ring up, 0800 TARDIS. Maybe it was British then, because it's 0800. Maybe it was British, not New. Why did I think it was from New Zealand? don't know. If I can remember where the video is, I'll link the video for the adverts in the description so you have a look at them, because they are quite funny. Yeah. I do quite like the room. I like the rotor as well, like the blue, like all the pipes and stuff coming out. I like how this really crappy TV screen just dangling from the roof. It's sweet on the but. I mean, it's quite a nice sizable room for the budget of for like, you know, for a collection of small advert in the late 90s for a show that had been off the air for like 10 years. There are some honourable mentions I wanted to look at actually quickly. I won't show them off in detail, but there's also where are they? If you can, there's House, which is just a house, bigger on the inside. There's Bill and Ted's TARDIS, which is the phone booth from Bill and Ted. This is Test Chamber 2, it's a Portal-inspired TARDIS, and that one is Kleiner's lab from Half-Life 2 as a TARDIS, and the whole room is in the Coke machine where they enter in the beginning of it. And so we're at the point now where once a new one is made, I'll make a small, quite short video talking about it, or if you get like a major update like what this one had. But to be honest, they're all really good. Like I said in the last one, stream on the 23rd, keep an eye out for that. And I'm off to get. I'm gonna get my car and drive off into the distance. So from me, from Bessie, and from Dinjarin, we'll see you around. Off we go. Goodbye. God, what a great turn.